I did not goof. Um, I definitely did not goof. Whatsoever. So, welcome to the Winter Bash. We are so excited to see you. I did an oofers on my part. I was not trying to stream on my Twitch. Um, was not trying to whatsoever. So I'm sorry about. Terribly sorry about that. Very sorry about that. I don't. I honestly thought that I was streaming on the new light, not on my Twitch. So I didn't mean to do that. That was great. That was wonderful. I did a big oofers. Start off to a great, wonderful start because I did a big oofers. All because I did a big oofers. That's all because I did a big oofers. Big, 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 huge oofers. Well, for y'all might be noticing that you might be following this Twitch channel and might be like, hey, you're not today is not Saturday. You're not streaming ministry service. Hey, it's not Tuesday. This is not podcast. So y'all could probably be looking at the stream schedule and be like, why are you streaming now? Why now? And it is for the Winter Bash. And the Winter Bash is basically a weekend to be able to disconnect from the world. Just for the weekend, just for 3 days. That's it. Just for 3 solid days to be able just to disconnect from the world and be able to connect with other believers and fellowship, have fun with like games, D&D, services such as this. This will be a service actually. Um, and there will be movies and all kinds of stuff that will be going on during this whole entire week. So make sure our schedule right now is the service. We have the service for today. This is day one, by the way. We have the services. That will be this. This is the opening service. Basically, I just decided I want to be able to talk to you on not one on one, basically one on one. And then we'll go and break up into small groups. Hopefully, you'll get that role as well. You need to be able to get that role in order to be in the small group as well. And then we're going to have a supper break, and then we're going to be doing a movie. More than likely, I'm probably not going to stream the movie onto Twitch due to copyright and stuff like that. So that will be all on the Discord. Hopefully, you'll be able to come to that. It's still a regular scheduled movie. Nothing has changed with our regular schedule events. All of our scheduled events has been fit in with this Winter Bash. And then after the movie, we're going to end it with some game nights. So this is just day one of the epic 3 long day weekend. And I am so thrilled to be able to have y'all here that are able to come out and be able to be part of this. Now, this event has been waiting. I've been trying to hype it up. I don't know if anybody's watching or if anything is going on, but yes. So, welcome to the opening services. um, I could play music. I could. We can listen to worship music. We could. But I just want to be able to talk about um some stuff that's been going on. Basically, basically. So, like I said, just try not to be connected to the world for right now. For this epic, it might be hard, even though we're online and we're are probably all at homes due to COVID, or if some people are going through the winter storm and stuff like that. So keep that in mind as we go through this whole long weekend. Um, but I wanted to be able to say something on mining, basically. This is basically just an opening. Like I said, this is where we're coming together. Am I repeating myself? Maybe, maybe, maybe I'm repeating myself. Ooh. but we're glad that you're able to make it. Um, we're so glad. We're happy. We're thrilled. So we're gonna go kind of right into the service so we can discuss about it in the small groups. To discuss what I'm talking about, what's happening, what's going on, and stuff like that. So here's a message from me, from your friendly neighborhood Hylian Hoofaku to you. So I'm not trying to go briefly over this, um, but we're basically going to be starting on a video game journey. Basically, how do you start a video game and how you do it. So when you first boot up a video game, let's say you're booting up a RPG game. Just as an example. Let's say you're booting up Skyrim. Everybody likes Skyrim. I mean, it's on like every console. I mean, it's on everything. You play on your mini fridge. The first thing that you do, you watch this opening cutscene to get into the world. You're looking at the environment, seeing, what is going on, and you're on this little truck thing, and you're heading to an area where you're supposed to be. So before that all happens, you talk to the people, and you're like, "Where am I?" Well, welcome to the bow, and you know, you look like you're captured and stuff like that, and then you decide to create your own character and creating a character, no matter what game you're playing, is such a it takes a while because you're wondering what kind of hairstyle do I want for this person? What kind of clothes do I want? Like you go into all this customizations, there is so much, and that could be applied spiritually, actually, because you're starting off a new profile. You're starting off a new game. You're basically pushing a reset button, basically, and you're starting all over. You lost your save file, you know, on an old game, or you're just starting a brand new, spanking new game. And that's how we first become Christians. Like, we didn't know anything about the Bible. We didn't know anything about prayers. We didn't know, you know. In our customizations, like, we're getting accustomed to what the Bible is telling us. What is Jesus trying to tell us through these multiple scriptures, multiple passages, and multiple books? So, and that's how it works. That is how it works to be able to do all that. You start to get yourself dive into the Bible more. You might discover some Bible plans on like YouVersion, and they have great plans over there. Please go and check that out. They have wonderful, really wonderful YouVersion plans, devotional plans, all kinds of stuff actually. Like there's like all kinds of plans that you could be able to go in and be able to dive in it. I kind of lost my train of thought there. But, that's how we are. After you create your character, you're going to be like, what is this world? What is this? What am I doing? What's going on here? And that's kind of what when you're reading the Bible, when you're reading Scripture, like John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only forgotten Son, who shall ever perish should have eternal life. And you're going scratching your head probably, going, who? What? And stuff like that because you don't know what that means. Because when you're a first baby Christian, you're coming into this world, even as a baby Christian, when you come into this world as an infant, you don't know nothing. You don't know how to walk. You don't know how to talk. You don't know how to properly eat. You don't know how to be able to use the toilet. You don't know how to ride a bike. You don't know how to drive. You don't know how to get a job. You don't know how to do all that. But as time goes, you get better as an individual. You start to improve. You start to learn more stuff. You're going to school for the education, and then next thing you know it, you're getting all this, even though it takes baby steps. But it's a progress, basically, and that's the same way with video games. You're making progress. Now, some of us are slow people, and some of us can be really fast people. Like, we can be really, really slow at just, like, learning what this is. Trying to scratch our heads. And sometimes we need to go to other disciples that know the scripture better than us. Get on their input, get on their level. See what they have to say about, like for John 3:16. That's how we grow. That's how we mature scripture-wise. That's the same thing in video games and in Skyrim. When you're playing, you're upgrading your equipment, you're upgrading this, and that's basically what we're doing. But like after your customization with Skyrim, you start to get like a little starter sword, I think, and stuff like that. Our starter equipment is the Bible, and probably a church, or whatever church that we could attend. I mean, possibly the New Light Ministry could turn into a church. It could, as a possibility. With God, everything's possible. I don't see myself as a pastor ultimately, but, you know, but God help us. But we're all growing, we're all maturing on our own pace. Like I said, some go slow, some goes fast. We have fast readers in this world. We have slow readers in this world. We're all different. We're all unique. If there were more of me, then there will be no one different. Basically, that's basically starting like imagine you're starting a game and all the characters look the same. Their face models, hairstyle, even their voices, they're all sound the same. That kind of makes you think that you might be in a world with their robots, and you might assume that they're robots created by a mastermind. But you realize that I'm the mastermind, and you probably wouldn't be able to tell. Would that be a fun game or a boring game when you're talking to the same person, even though there's different dialogue and experience different things? You know, you can talk to someone that's experienced with Dragonborn, then talk to someone that's a city folk that looks like me, dressed like me, and look the same. And you probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. You're probably looking at, I don't know if that's a city person or a Dragonborn. I don't know. And you're going to get confused. God, however, is not the author of confusion. Period. He is the author of love and peace. And plus, it will make probably a very boring game, if you ask me. A very boring, dry game. That's probably what it will do. Because you feel like you probably wouldn't be connected to the world. You feel like it's probably just something that's really messed up. Same way with the Bible. When you start to dive into different people, they're not the same. They all have different names. They have different feelings. They go through different stuff. Jonah got eaten by a whale, Noah building an ark, David fighting Goliath. So there's all different kinds of stories within the Bible, even though there's like 66 books. Like I said, this is kind of an intro session service thing. Kind of weird. Like I said, I want to do something unique to this winter bash. So keep that in mind. So that's how we, mature and be able to grow as Christians. It's the same thing as spiritual. It is the same thing. It is literally the same thing. You start to understand, what salvation is. You start to understand what a sin is. Even though it's probably basic to us now, once you grow and mature, it's probably basic stuff. But then you have like baby Christians or non-believers that ask, what is salvation? What is baptism? Do we need a testimony? Are we supposed to read the book? What is prayer? Like, what is prayer? Like, people ask that question. What is prayer? So, it's just stuff that goes on and on to the peak of dawn, basically. So, that's how it is. And when you start to ask those questions, and when you start to get knowledge of it, you start to know it. But the thing is, there's a big difference between knowing the knowledge and knowing it in your heart. Like, you can have like all the knowledge in the world. You could be smarter than Einstein. You can have an IQ of like 1 billion or 1 trillion. All the IQ in the world. But it matters of what's in your heart, not what's up here. You gotta really think about that. You could probably be the smartest person or the wisest person, but if you don't have it in your heart, then you're not a full follower. That's what atheists do. Like I said, there's different things, so I'm trying to not go ahead of myself to people that are new to Christianity or new. So this is just basically kind of a starting point as we dive into this whole weekend of where we're supposed to go, how we're supposed to go. And this is the weekend to do it. Okay? This is the full weekend to be able to do it, to be able to dive into it, and to be able to acknowledge it, and to be able to grasp it. So there's atheists, probably also agnostic people that looks at facts and may not understand it, but they read the Bible. They might have more knowledge than Christians do. But they don't follow God. They always want to be able to pick a debate and stuff like that. Like I said, you can have all the knowledge in the world. Like, your intelligence in a video game, you can be up to 10 and have your charisma all the way down to the flow. Is basically what that is. Because if you're not following your heart, if you're not trying to be nice and kind, but you have all the knowledge, then you're not a full-on disciple. And you probably even asked him, was a disciple. Like I said, we're going to go through this whole weekend. Maybe take it as a step at a time to be able to explain all this. So you get your starter equipment, and you start to go to, well, in Skyrim, basically, you kind of got to go through to be able to escape the city that you're in. But sometimes in RPGs put you like in a little starter town, to be able to get like you're living with your parents, and your parents are like, here's some spare change. Go buy yourself some equipment or something. Go buy yourself some potions. And then you're walking in this town, even though you don't know the whole world outside of you. You're just in this little town or city or village. And that's kind of how we start as Christians. We start off small, and then we go dun 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 dun. Because we start to know more, we start to explore what the Bible has to offer. No, we start to be able to travel these distant lands to be able to get there. And sometimes RPGs may have you go from like starting all the way over here, go all the way over here, then go all the way over there, then probably all the way over here, then back over here. It's like a big long side quest. You know, you're going over there, you're going over there, and you're going over there. So, and that's kind of how we're doing as Christians. And the thing is, our travels are not perfect. Our travels, when we travel, when we're leaning on God, when we're learning on God, our travels is not full of rainbows, sunshines, unicorns, or whatever you think could be. You know, whatever you think could be, basically. Whatever you think could really be. You know, where there's always some type of stumbling block. We always seem to fall or mess up. And that's kind of how you do with RPGs. You know, you're getting to this world, you don't know what cave is over there. You don't know what that city entails. You don't know if that city's been robbed. You don't know what if that city is good. You don't know if that city has any enemies over there until you've ventured over there. You know, and then on your way, sometimes on your way, you're going into this vast open world. You know, traveling, looking at the trees, looking at the water, looking up at the sky. You're looking at everything because you want to get yourself around in that environment. You want to be able to feel like you're in the video game. You know, that is basically it. You want to see what this video game has to offer. You want to see what the quests have to offer. You want to see what the story is. You know, you want to see how beautiful it looks. But there will be some times where there's going to be enemies in your way, or sometimes archers shooting at you, or maybe you're almost falling off a big cliff and thinking that's faster. I mean, I might do that. Or be able to climb a mountain because I don't want to walk all the way around over there. I just want to be able to go up there. But sometimes we just can't. Sometimes we have to be able to walk in a long circle. That's the same way with spirituality. It's not always straightforward. It's not always straight. You know, God gives us a task, yes. You know, just like in RPGs, you have a task, you have a mission. Same with God. We're on a endless quest, it feels like. A endless quest. And what is that quest? It's in Matthew. Make disciples of all nations. Baptize them in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That is our mission. That is what we're supposed to do. That is a endless quest. Because we meet people out there when we're traveling this world, you know, on this earth, and seeing how they are and getting to know them. I mean, there's different ways of witnessing, you know, different ways, different ways. Like when you're playing an RPG, there's different ways you can play the game. Even though it feels like you're talking to the same people and probably doing the same quest, but at least you're playing it differently, seeing how it works out. Because you have, like I said, you have all these classes. You know, when you're back at the character creation screen, you know, you pick a class for your character. You know, there's thief, cleric, archer, fighter, warrior, mage, etc., etc. The list could go on for ages. You know, and you're picking a class of what you want to do, and each class plays differently. Think about it. Each class has its own talents and gifts, basically. Kind of like how we all are. We are our own individual class. All of us are different. You know, but we still love God. You know, we're still following the same path. We still have the same mission. We still have the same task. You know, we're still playing the game still, but we might be doing it differently from other players. And that's how we are as Christians, because we're all different. All of us are unique in our own special way. God has bestowed us talents and gifts to be able to use for His kingdom. You could be really talented in some areas where people is not. Like for me, I'm not talented in art. I can draw stick figures. That maybe be it. I could probably just get like a stick figure and that's it. But someone can take that stick figure and make it look like anime or something. And you're probably looking at that and going, wow, I want to do that. And we start baby steps to be able to get that talent. But sometimes maybe we're just not there. And maybe it's not something that we really enjoy of doing. You could be a really good programmer and like make your own video game or, you know, be good at any type of sport. Like Tiger Woods, how he's a pro at golf, or Michael Jordan, how he's a pro at, basketball. Everyone has their talents and gifts. We may not be like that person. Like, I'm nowhere like Michael Jordan or LeBron James, for instance, for basketball. That's why I say we are our own individuals. We have our own class set because we're different. We speak different. We use different things to be able to explain ourselves and all that. So think about that. Really, really think about that and let that sink in. So you're on your own individual class, you got your starter equipment, and you're ready to go out into the world. That's basically starting to dive in the Bible. Getting to know the scripture a little bit more before you're going out to the world. Like in Fallout New Vegas. Taking another game. You start off in Doc House's hut. Or in this house. You know, you wake up and you feel a little drowsy, sleepy, and then you go to the machine to be able to put your stats and like strength, charisma, and stuff like that. And then you sit on the couch to ask him questions, to be like tags, and you get to pick like 3 talents what you want to be strong in. What you want to be strong in. What is your strongest, what is your weakest. Basically. And that is what we're doing as Christians. We got to be able to notice our strengths, but we got to also notice our weakness. Because we can be able to grow that weakness and not be weak in that area. Because we all have weaknesses in our area. And as a Christian, devil loves, he loves to attack us in our weak spots. Because he knows our weak spots, unfortunately. And sometimes it crumbles down because we're so weak in that area and we fall into that sin. But when you're strong, you're not able to give in that easily. But you can be able to train. That's the thing. The more you train, the more you get better at it. The more you play the game, the more you get better at it. That's how you see speedrunners. They speed run all kinds of games. You might play a favorite game and they probably already did a speed run of it. And you're gonna be like, that's impossible. How in the world are you able to pull those glitches off? How are you what? Because that dude's been practicing. Like how I've been practicing Link to the Past on my own channel. I'm basically doing the same thing. I'm training myself to be able to get good. To be able to reach to that point, basically. That is what I am trying to do. And we all go through a training period in our time, especially as Christians. We're always constantly training. It is like our quest is endless, our training is endless. Because every day when you open up that Bible, you learn something new. You start to pick up something, you start to understand it from like a different perspective. Even though you may have read that verse 10 million times, and you start to look at it and say like, wow, I've never seen it like that. And especially when you learn how to glitch, you'd be like, you're like so, basically you're proud of being able to pull it off. At first you don't even know how to do it, and you Google it. Easy Google search. How to pull off this simple glitch. Enter. how to pull it off. And that's basically when you open the word, you're kind of like, how can I get through today, for example. That is basically the same thing. Like I said, we're going to go over this in deeper, kind of especially in small groups as well. Um, this is basically just the setting of what this weekend is going to look like. Okay, we're going to go through what's your class, set up your class, like set up a D&D. We have D&D. We are basically helping you create your own D&D character, spiritual wise. That is what this whole thing is throughout this whole entire weekend. What class you are, what race you are, you know, what kind of abilities do you want, where do you want your strengths to be at, where you want your weakness to be at. Because in a party, you're stronger in this area when another party member is not that strong. There's a difference between a thief and a warrior. Like, there's a difference between me and you. So that is basically what we're doing. We're going to be training you to be able to be a disciple of Christ. And like I said, we have small groups right after this. And I encourage you to be able to join that. Because that's where it really dives deep. This is just like kind of basic maneuver. Basic maneuver. Terrible joke. Terrible stuff. Terrible stuff. I probably won't be streaming the small group. I might just stream the games and the services. I'm probably not going to, I can't stream the movies, like I said. And I can't, because small group is more of a family setting to be able to grow together as a family. That is what a small group is. When you're getting a party together, you talk to other people, how are we going to do this? Where do we go next in this D&D campaign? Should we ambush this person? Should we go in this cave to rescue that fairy? What should we do? Let's discuss together. And that's what usually a small group does. You discuss before even telling the dungeon master anything. You're sitting there, probably while the dungeon master walks out of the room and you're probably thinking, what can I do? What should we do? What do you got? What do you got? You got something over there? You got something over there? Interesting. 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 You discuss. That's what small groups is. That's why I'm probably not going to stream it. But it'll basically kind of be able to open your story. Open your book, basically. And that is what we are going to be doing this whole entire weekend. So be prepared. So, back to gaming knowledge. So, after you get your equipment, after you get your stuff, ready to go, you go off and explore, have these quests, different types of quests. And as us, we do have different types of quests. Spiritual wise, we do. Even though we may have one endless main quest, make disciples of all nations, but we do have some side quests. Like going to college, going to school. I mean, that's kind of basic stuff. But like witnessing to that person, that's like a side quest. Even though it's part of the main quest. Make food with them, have a cup of coffee with them, fellowship with them. That's kind of a side quest. It's not mandatory. To be able to get you through life, even though it helps you to be able to disciple, it helps your main quest better. That's what side quest is. To be able to explore something that you never explored something, or make your character stronger and better, or be able to get an item that you never get. Like when you meet new people, you may never know if they could be your friend or not, and sometimes you can be really shy. Other people are not that shy walking up to new people, and that is the truth. That is literally the truth right there. So as we're going off, getting these side quests, doing these quests, sometimes we may not be satisfied with the ending of the game. Sometimes we may not be satisfied with the results. Kind of like back in high school or college, you know, you make an F, you feel terrible. You feel like you didn't accomplish anything. You feel like you didn't even study. You feel like you didn't do jack, basically. That's kind of how, that's not how you're supposed to do it. You've got to be able to study, put the effort in. Some people are like, oh, I want to pray. God's got it all for me. It doesn't work like that. It's not 100%, then you do 0%. You got to be able to take the effort and the actions to be able to implicate it. Like how you do with relationships. When you meet other people in a video game, especially if it's like an online game, you start to meet people that you never met before. Or even looking at Twitch and you might find a favorite streamer, or a favorite YouTuber that you've never seen before. And you want to watch their videos, see if it's to your liking. Do I like this YouTuber? Do I like this person that's streaming? Do I like this person? And you start to develop that relationship. Like in Twitch chat, you start to talk with that person in the chat when they're live streaming. And they chat with you, get in contact with you. Like y'all can right now. Y'all can chat right now. Like there's the chat box, even though nobody's chatting. I don't know if anybody's like really watching right now for the first day of the Winter Bash. However, though, that's how you develop relationships. You talk to one another. You get to know that person. You start to ask them questions like, "What's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? What's your favorite da 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 da, etc. etc." And usually when you get to know that person, usually a relationship is like 50-50, and sometimes 25-75, depending on that person's sick or weak in that skill set. And that is, you got to put in the effort to be able to get a girlfriend or a boyfriend. You got to put in the effort, you got to put in the time. Because you're talking to that person, you get to know that person, you are putting the effort. Even though you're praying, you're putting in the effort. And that is what you got to do. You can't just sit there and be like, oh man, this quest is so hard. I'm just going to pray about it. God got it. I'm just going to sit here and do nothing. That's what I'm going to do. That is what I'm going to do. God got it, right? Yeah, I don't need to do anything. I don't. Yeah. It's been 20 hours. Lord, I'm being patient with you. Being patient. I'm being patient right now. Being patient. Lord, it's been almost a week. Where's my answers? I've been sitting here, sitting still in you, waiting. If you're not going to put the effort in, then you're not going to go anywhere. There's always a saying, and it applies even to non-Christians. Actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. It is 100% a thing. If you just say it and not do it, then that kind of tells something about you. If you say and do it, and do it even without saying, that tells different about you. Like I could have said, I'm going to do this Winter Bash, And let's say I don't do it. Let's just say I'm not going to do it. God has it. I don't need a stream. I don't need to set up all this. I don't need to put in the effort. I just need to pray about it. It's not 100% sincere. And it's the same way with relationships. Even when you're married, it's not a husband do 100% why the wife is lazy and do nothing. Or the husband does nothing and the wife does everything. It's always 50-50. You always got to put in that effort to be able to accomplish anything in life, period. Because if you don't put in the effort, you're not going to get anywhere. And that is a fact. If you put in the effort, you'll be able to get somewhere. You'll be able to get there. When you're playing a game, you're putting effort and time to be able to get into the world, to be able to connect with all these NPCs, to be able to see what does this game has to offer. Same thing with the Bible. You're seeing what it has to offer with you. And you want to be able to go to other people that may have more knowledge than you because you're just starting out. And that's how we were, essentially. We were just like that. Like when I first came to faith, Christianity, I didn't know what baptism was. I didn't know what salvation was. I didn't know what any of that stuff was until I started to dive in and read my Bible daily. And there's some online games that has like daily challenges to be able to help you out to improve, your game. There might be a favorite game that you love to play online, like Hearthstone, and there'll be like daily challenges for you, or any online game basically. There's always complete these daily challenges. And usually the daily challenges gives you like a reward at the end. And more likely you probably want that reward. You want to be able to feel good about yourself, right? That's the same way spiritually. Literally the exact same, copy and paste, the same. It's what it is. Because when you okay, when you I couldn't think for a second. I kind of lost my train of thought now. That's great. See, I'm weak at that. See, what was I saying? I was saying something. I was saying something. See, I'm weak at it. I'm not strong. Some people have better memory, or not get lost track so easily. And sometimes it's hard to get on that track. And that's the same way with Christians. We tend to mess up, screw up, because we're not perfect. Neither is our characters perfect. There are some RPG games where you might be able to put in the perfect character, like Fallout 3, because there's bobbleheads and stuff like that, and perks that will be able to help you to be able to do this perfect character. But sometimes you can't be perfect. You can be almost perfect. Like there was a perk in Fallout 3, almost perfect. And that's how we're supposed to be. Almost perfect. As Christians. Because we all make mistakes. That's the thing. Just like our character. Always make mistakes. And sometimes you want to reload. And be like, I don't mean to do that. Crap. I didn't say before that. Crap. And you probably get frustrated with yourself because you probably didn't mean to say that. See? Even your character is making mistakes. And you might wish to go back in time to be able to reload that save to be able to correct yourself. Unfortunately, we can't do that as Christians. We can't just sit there and go like, oh man, I messed up, I screwed up royally. I can't believe I fall into that sin. Wait, I think I saved before that. Yeah, let me. Hey guy, can we reload the last save point? Oh, we're on autosave. We're on autosave, God. Are you sure, God, that I can't reload it? Okay. Are you sure? Okay. Are you sure? Okay. Unfortunately, we can't do that because we're constantly on autosave. And sometimes you can't go back to it. You can never go back because what you did is history. When you're studying history books or, reading something, that happens. You can never go back and change that. Like with all Hitler thing back in World War II, you can't all of a sudden, create a time machine to be able to go back in time to be able to change his mind. That's not going to happen. I'm sorry to tell you that. It is not going to happen. It is just not going to happen. Like, period. It is just not going to happen. It's just not. So, we can't do that. But in video games, we can. We want to be able to correct ourselves. As Christians, it's a little bit different. We have to still go on and learn from that mistake that we did and try not to prevent it ever again. That help us to learn and grow more. Even though we still learn, but we still meet new people and we might make mistakes and we might, say something that we really don't mean to say. So I'm like, I'm sorry for what I said. I didn't mean it to come out that way. Maybe a lot of us say that to a good bit of people, probably. If you really think about it, a good bit of people. So, with all that in mind, that is basically the Christian journey. You're trying to get to the end results. You're trying to be able to make this perfect character like you would in an RPG. Or trying to be able to complete every quest that's assigned to you. Some of us could be really 100% people and be like, looking at the achievements and like, I got 100% this. So I'm like, I know I can do this. I believe in myself. And you believe in yourself. You start to have faith in yourself. That's what we're supposed to do with God. We're supposed to have faith in Him. Believe in Him. Trust in Him. Lean on Him. Grow on Him. Talk to Him. And we'll be able to go through that with small groups. So here in about 40 minutes, actually. Um, if you are here listening in, we'll be able to create your character sheet through God and with you on your travel. We'll be able to help you to understand, you know, do you want to follow Jesus or not? Because we all have choices. Just like in video games, we can make a good character or an evil character, or maybe a normal, and maybe you want to do half and half. But sometimes you might do a little bit more than that. And that's the same thing with us. We all have choices. It can be good choices or evil choices or just normal choices. Just like how you would do in D&D. Or Minecraft, would you pillage that village? Are you going to be a good Tootie Shoes tonight? So we all have choices in what we do in life. I can't sit there and go through the screen and be able to control and move your arms and stuff like that. I can't do that for you. It's your choice if you want to move that arm or not. It's your choice if you want to listen to this or not. It is your choice. No one's begging you to be here. Nobody is forcing you to be here. Nothing like that. So just keep that in mind when we do stuff like that. Just really keep that in mind when all that's happening. Really keep that in mind. So this is probably the end of the little not session but service. Like I said, I want to do something different kind of go over um, what we're going to be doing here and stuff like that. So this might end a little bit early than usual, and then we could be able to get maybe be in our small groups longer, or maybe just be able to play games, and stuff like that. So, like I said, this is an exciting weekend for you to be able to disconnect from the world for a little bit, like you would do at a fall retreat and stuff like that. When you're going on a retreat, you go to the camp, you try to disconnect yourself from the world, to be able to connect with people that's in the group, to be able to fellowship and have fun with them as well, and to be able to grow your relationship with God. And this is what this is supposed to be. Obviously it's online, so obviously you're going to be connected to a device. I can't sit there and just you go to a camp where there's no signal. Obviously I can't do that. Obviously, for obvious reasons. I hope you obviously understand. I hope I'm not using too much of obviously. But yeah, just be able just to disconnect from the world for a little bit. Put your homework on hold, or you know maybe you might not be able to put your work on hold, but try to put stuff on hold for just a bit. You know, and then maybe once you start to feel a little bit refreshed when you go back into the world, when you get back to connected to the world. This is basically what this event is from me to you. So, make sure, if you have not, make sure to go to bread rolls in the server. I'll make sure to actually post the server in the chat for once, because I have not been able to do that. So if y'all want, like right now, if you want to join, there it is. If you want to join, there it is. There it is. There's the Discord link. If you want to be able to join in and to connect with us, if this is your first time hearing this, or first time coming, and you may want to be part of this full-on blast-on weekend. We have all the days of what we're going to be doing on each day. This is just the first day. This is the welcoming day. This is our first day to be able to get into it. Just like how you do with, with RPG. We're going to be diving into this world. So, if you want to be able to click on that link, click on the right over there, not over there, over there. Click on it. Be sure to be able to pass the verification gate, and to be able to make sure that you get bread rolls. Make sure that you get the Winter Bash roll and the small group roll to be able to sign up for this. If you do not have the Winter Bash roll, then you cannot participate. If you do not have the small group roll, then you cannot participate. But you are welcome to come and to participate in this big, long event. We are so looking forward to be able to have you here. Sorry if I start off late. Apparently I was streaming on my server. I forgot to put in the thing on the Moonlight Ministry, so that's a big oofers on my part, like I said. But make sure to get that. Like I said, for today, I'm going to go over again what we're doing for today. Right now, we're doing the opening services. This is the opening, basically, what we're going to be doing, what we're going to be talking about, what we're going to be doing. And that is what I'm trying to explain to y'all. Because this is a big, big, big thing. We'll be doing small group afterwards, like we're about to right now. And then we usually have lunch breaks and supper breaks. For everybody to at least get something. Even though we're not at camp, I can't serve you food. I can't go, across your screen to get you food. I'm sorry. But we have a movie tonight, and then we have game night, and then Saturday We have some Saturday morning games, like how you would with Saturday morning cartoons. So we have Saturday morning games, then we have an hour long service, then we have a lunch break, and more games, and then a lunch break, then a service. Like I said, we do have, if you're worried about what about the original events, the movie event, the ministry, the movie, we're still having it tonight. It's part of the Winter Bash. We're still having our service at the same time on Saturday. It's still the same thing. Nothing has changed. Nothing has really changed about this event. Okay? Nothing has changed. So within the regular events. And then Saturday to end it off to small group to talk about it. And then Sunday we have service, small group, lunch break, and there'll be games, Dungeons and Dragons, then lunch break, supper break, and then we're going to be having a big, epic tournament. What game? Be surprised and come on in. That is a big way that we're going to end this whole entire event is with a tournament. So, like I said, this is a long weekend to be able just to disconnect from the world and get together with God. That is what we plan on doing here. So, like I said, if you have not and you just now, make sure to click on the link if you need to be able to connect with the server. Make sure to, we'll answer the question so you'll be able to pass the verification gate, and then make sure to get your bread rolls. Namely, the Winter Bash roll and the small group roll. You need those two rolls at the very least. So, we will love to see you there. We can't wait to be able to have this whole thing unfold. We're going to be playing like all kinds of games. I'm just going to name games for example. We can be playing Rocket League, Minecraft, Jackbox, Among Us. Yes, Among Us. Even though I'm not an Among Us player, I'm not an Among Us person. Essentially, Fall Guys, Rainbow Six Siege, Rust, etc. We could be able to have more games on the list that you may want to play, or maybe we can do Nintendo and have Super Smash Bros. Or Mario Kart even. You know, if there is a game that you want to be able to play, we can be able to do it and stream it right here. So those are the games, and like I said, we're going to be having our D&D session. Come to that. You might be really excited, and you might really love D&D. So we really can't wait to see you guys and girls. I can't wait to be able to interact with y'all and to be able to connect with y'all on the level. So, like I said, this is just day one, and we're going to be going in for this epic, long weekend. And like I said, I am so thrilled to be able to have y'all here. I am really, really thrilled to be able to have y'all here to be able to do this with us. We can still play games during the break or something like that, or if y'all want to play games and stuff like that. But this is a schedule that has been posted by me to be able to follow the format. So, we can't wait to see y'all guys there. I kind of honestly wish this was in person. I remember someone like asked me, you know, how would it be in person? I feel like it would be way much fun in person because you get to see each other, in person, not through a screen like we are right now. Be able to play games together, like go to the gaming lobby, have this big opening, kind of like church service, be able to have chairs, pews, and stuff like that. I feel like that will be really freaking amazing if we ever did that in person. But unfortunately, due to COVID and everything, and since we're still a small ministry, we're not big. We're not big. Say that right now. We're not even big. or not. So I hope you see all there. This will be our first bash. Also, I want to say this before I cut the stream off, is that I was originally planning on doing a spring bash, summer bash, and a fall bash. I'm thinking of just doing winter and summer, especially summer, since you kind of I think you will probably have a little bit more free time off of school if you're going to school and stuff like that. And usually that's when summer camp starts to be a thing. So I feel like the summer bash will be way different than the winter bash. Hopefully, like we'll still have like maybe the same kind of events that we're hosting, but yeah, don't forget to be able to do that. So we're glad to see you here. We're so excited to see you being able to connect. And I will be in the small group VC. I just changed that, making sure. Um, I'll make sure in the VC small group. And then I'm just making sure that I get it. No, 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 no. Oh my gosh. I couldn't think there for a minute. So, like I said, we'd love to have you there. We'll be able to. Right now, what we're going to be doing is move it to a small group. Right now, like I said, join the VC. Make sure you at least get the small group role to be able to be part of this. At least a small group role. You'll be able to see the VC. So, um, we'll be going over and be able to create your own character sheet, spiritual wise. Be able to see what type of class you want, what type of equipment, and stuff like that. Basically, how you're going to be making your own D&D sheet. Basically, that is what we are going to be doing. So, join me in the small group. That's where we're going to be. I don't know if I want to be able to stream it live. I could, unless y'all want to see that live. I don't know if y'all want to or not, but it's possible. Like I said, it's possible. It's definitely possible. So make sure to join it. I'm sitting here just waiting for people. Unless y'all have any questions to ask. Woo! Winner Bash! I don't even know if anybody was really watching or listening in or tuning in. I really